Hey, how's it guys? My name is Curtis. I am from South Africa, but currently based in New York. I'm a food, drinks, and product photographer. I got into photography through assisting. Before I started assisting, I was working full-time, saved up all the money I could, bought myself a little camera. It was a Nikon D90, and I remember buying that from Sandton City. I'd moved up from Durban and decided I wanted to get into photography. I then reached out to a few peeps and got hold of some photographers and asked them if I could please come and help out on set and learn. I left my job at the time and started shooting part-time, and I assisted, and that's kind of how I got into photography. To those of you who might not know, assisting is helping out on set, helping run errands, make tea and coffee for clients. You do all the kind of hard work, but you really do benefit from learning a lot. Describing my work to someone who might not have ever seen it, I like a lot of clean, simple imagery. I like imagery with lots of breathing room. I tend to avoid clutter in my images. If I do throw in clutter, it's often a look that I'm trying to achieve. I also really enjoy simple lighting. Not too many light sources, not too many double shadows. I shoot with a combination of flash and natural light, and I like to keep things simple. My biggest struggles moving to New York, like moving to any new city or new town, you have to get integrated into the way of working in the new city. You got to find new suppliers, you got to find new prop shops, you got to make new relationships with food stylists and prop stylists. And I think that's probably the hardest part about it, is making all those new relationships all over again. What kind of impact would I like to make within the next 10 to 15 years? It's a very easy but also a very difficult question to answer. It's a bit of a complicated one because I feel that there's so many areas you can be involved and leave a legacy in photography. So the first area being an actual photographer, you always want to be able to be known for cutting edge approaches to your work. If I'm lighting a hamburger, for example, there's so many ways you can light a hamburger. I've lit many hamburgers in my time, but for the next client, how do you come up with new lighting techniques and new approaches to making your work unique and stand out? So I'd like to be known as someone who's very innovative when it comes to my approach to photography. I think that's very key in determining your success. Okay, how much can you grow with the times and grow with the way that the industry changes and evolves. Another area of photography where I hope to leave more of a legacy is through like a mentorship program. I've just recently started with some guys back in South Africa from various stages of life, some from disadvantaged backgrounds, some from more advantaged backgrounds. And these are young guys and girls who are passionate about getting into photography, but either don't know where to start or come from a background that doesn't allow or doesn't facilitate for that growth. So it's a very one-on-one personal kind of project, working with youngsters. How do we grow them? How do we leave a legacy of up-and-coming food photographers? A lot of people have their genres that they want to shoot, and I'm looking out for guys and girls that are passionate about food, passionate about products, and would like to shoot more of that. So some of the work that I'm working on now, some of the projects I'm involved in, there's a couple. Being new to a new country, there's a lot of fresh inspiration and some fresh ideas. The food is very different. The environment is very different. There's a lot of really fresh and very fun influences that I've been drawing on. The first project I did was I partnered with a local brewery, and we shot real hard lighting inspired imagery. The inspiration came from winter. The sun in winter in the US hangs very low in the horizon, and what that does is it gives you lots of beautiful long hard shadows. So that was a huge inspiration, and we went and we just reshot the entire website, the entire menu. We did some drinks, we did some packs, and we did some more like lifestyle imagery on marble, and we really played with those hard shadows. Another project that I'm working on is kind of like a breakfast in America inspiration. Moving here, as I mentioned, the food is very different. So BLT sandwiches, they're big, they're proud, they're delicious. Bagels are something that we don't get. We get them in South Africa, but they're very different. Salmon, lots and lots of salmon. I don't know where it comes from, but it's delicious. and what we would call an English muffin is called like a breakfast sandwich. So I worked with a food stylist down in Washington DC, and together we came up with 4 images, and it's a project that we're going to continually work on, where we kind of showcasing American breakfast food. That's quite a cool little project that I'm busy working on. If I had to give any advice to the next generation of photographer, the first bit of advice would be passionate, but be passionate about what you do. There's so many photographers out there that create a lot of amazing content. The best thing that I ever did in photography was find what I'm really passionate about and become the best at it, or try to become the best at it, and learn as much as I can, try to grow, research the field, network within my field. An example of that would be, if I use my own example, I'm passionate about food. I love food, I love the way that it connects people. So for me, it's about photographing food beautifully. If I get an assignment to photograph at a restaurant, there's a bit of interiors there, so I'm photographing interior spaces. I would photograph maybe a portrait of the chef, so there's a bit of portraiture involved there. But it's all around what I'm really, really passionate about. There's, in order to stand out, I feel like it's better just to specialize and really hone in on what you love. And your passion will show through your work. I feel like that's one of the most important things. If you are undecided as to, you like fashion, you like products, you like, maybe portraiture, my advice would then be to go and assist someone who's a photographer. When I started out, I assisted a few guys. I assisted some lifestyle photographers who really helped me develop a lighting and an understanding for shooting lifestyle imagery, which I wouldn't have if I didn't assist them. I shot some food photographers, and I realized that that's where I wanted to be. And I used the skills I learned from all the photographers that I assisted, and I'm extremely grateful for the guys that gave me the opportunity to shadow them and make them coffee and look after the shoots on the days. So I learned a huge amount from that. So my advice would be, work out where your niche is and what you're passionate about, and then go get some practical experience and go and assist someone.